Good evening, guys. Yeah. So nice to see you all after so many days. Okay. See, for the next 2 weeks, we'll be having these sort of sessions where we'll understand how to deal with the newspaper. See, generally, మన newspaper ఏమనుకుంటున్నాం అంటే newspaper చదివేసి పక్కన పడేస్తాం. But we don't understand the value of the newspaper through which you can enrich your answer writing skills. That's why from today, we'll discuss the general things in the newspaper. And then I'll give you 2 questions. I'll give you 2 mains related questions from the topics which I have discussed. And tomorrow I'll try to give you the model answer also in the class before I start the next day newspaper. This is how the things will go on. And I want each and every one of you to use this initiative. And this initiative will be continued by your mentor Kalyan sir. So I'm just here to tell you for these 2 weeks. Then again the same initiative will be continued by the mentor. Because, see, mentorship is not the one that generally you come and you show you the answer and everything will go on. But how you need to use the newspaper to enrich your content. I'll show you some snippets which generally you will not study in the newspaper and you will throw away that article in the newspaper. But it will be useful as an example when you're writing an answer. And I'll also tell you the usage of that example in multiple GS general studies papers. You don't need to have a multiple number of examples for different papers. Single examples you can use for all the papers. GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 and even for the essay. That's how these sessions for the 14 days or at least for 10 days will go on. So now, I'll show you the importance of newspaper now by looking at the newspaper of yesterday, because Sunday newspaper everyone will not study. I know, because Sunday is a holiday, but newspaper doesn't have a holiday. So automatically Sunday newspaper will have more articles on environment and science and technology. More of environment and science and technology. But here, because of the war situation which is going on between India and Pakistan, next 2 weeks also you'll see the same type of articles. The Pakistan related articles and how India have retaliated and what are the things which we need. But I don't want to go deep into it because UPSC will not ask questions on this. How did we won the war? How did things has happened from May 7th to 9th? They will not ask those questions. The questions will be in the international relations. That's why India did not go for the self-defense under Article 51 of United Nations. Why India didn't go for the self-defense doctrine which has been mentioned in the United Nations? See, if some person have attacked me, I can go for self-defense. If he is not attacking me, I will not go for self-defense. Someone is attacking me, I will go for self-defense. Why India did not invoke Article 51 in the United Nations? See, the reason being, if I invoke Article 51 in United Nations, automatically I need to answer to the UN what are the things I am doing. Like if I'm going for missile strikes, I need to answer to UN. If I'm going for drone strikes, I need to give answers to the UN. If I'm killing some civilian, for example, if by chance a civilian has been killed, I need to go for answering. If I want to go for each and every answers, if I want to give it to United Nations, I will invoke Article 51. What is Article 51? See, if some state, for example, Pakistan as a state is attacking India, as a self-defense, India can attack the Pakistan. That is mentioned under Article 51 of the United Nations. But India did not invoke Article 51 because first reason, Pakistan as a state did not attack us. The non-state actors have attacked us, not the Pakistan as a state. That's the first reason. Second reason, there is clearly mentioned in Article 51 that you can't invoke Article 51 time and again. For in small issues, small bilateral issues, you can't go for Article 51. And in 2021, in the United Nations, there is a doctrine which India have introduced. India have introduced this doctrine in United Nations, where if 3 conditions are satisfied, I'll attack that country. If 3 conditions are satisfied, I'll attack Pakistan. The first condition is that non-state actor like terrorist organizations is attacking India. The terrorist organizations is attacking India. The first is the non-state actors attacking India. Second, reason, second condition that needs to be satisfied. That if non-state actor is attacking India, Pakistan as a state should not support the non-state actor. Pakistan as a state should not support the non-state actor. So the second thing is the state actor should not support. Then third condition, the state as a Pakistan as a state should condemn that act, should condemn the act done by the terrorist. If it is not condemning the act that is done by terrorist, that means it is indirectly supporting the non-state actors. If these three conditions, that is, the state should condemn it, if these three conditions are not satisfied, that if these three conditions are violated, then India can attack the Pakistan. The India can directly attack the Pakistan. See, this is the doctrine. I have given you details about the doctrine because this you can't write as an introduction. You can write as a conclusion. As a conclusion, you can write this. Like rather than going for a full-fledged war, India should have invoked Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, or India would have invoked 2021 United Nations Charter. Rather than taking a decision very easily, it should have invoked this. This is the thing as a conclusion you can write. This enriches your answer in the conclusion. This is how conclusion should be written. See, when you study ethics, in the ethics you will get this. There is this person called Thomas Aquinas. So he has given just war hypothesis. Just war hypothesis. When can a country wage a war on the other country? Is it ethical to go for war? These sort of things is mentioned by Thomas Aquinas in the just war hypothesis. And in this, he has clearly claimed that peace should be the first option that should be given by a war. Peace should be the first option that should be given as an outcome for the war. That is clearly mentioned by the just war hypothesis by Thomas Aquinas. You can conclude this with this also. You can conclude with this also. So these two type of conclusions, when you're writing an answer in international relations, you can quote directly. This you will get from this newspaper. Because in this article it is directly mentioned So in the article, it is directly mentioned about Article 51. See, because of India-Pakistan war going on, this news has not been in focus. India-UK trade deal. India-UK trade deal. So this has been since 25 years we have been working on this deal. But the background is not this. In 2014, there is a phenomenon called Brexit. There is a phenomenon called Brexit. Brexit is nothing but Britain exiting the European Union. The Britain exiting the European Union is called Brexit. Britain exiting Brexit. Now, once Britain came out of European Union, now every country should deal with it bilaterally. Rather than as a European Union as a group, you should deal with the United Kingdom as a bilateral entity. Now, if you are dealing with bilaterally, you can go for free trade agreements. See, free trade agreements, it's not something beyond it. Say, I'm giving you something for free. What I'm giving you for free? The trading, the exports or imports. The exports I do or imports I get. The tariffs will be very less or it is zero. Customs duty, any exports duty, any import duty, I don't put on them. All those things. That is the free trade agreement that has been signed. See, India-UK has been negotiating this free trade agreement since so many years. And yesterday only they said that we are finalizing the free trade agreement. In this free trade agreement, it is goods and services, it is investment, and it is the people-to-people exchanges. Goods and services. Now the bilateral trade between these two countries is approximately $60 billion. Imports, exports, trade anta kalipi $60 billion. Now, you want to increase it to $90 billion. You want to increase it to $90 billion in this free trade agreement. But this is not the question that will be asked traditionally by UPSC. What is India-UK free trade agreement, T20 agreement? General questions that will be asked, how free trade agreements are promoting the inclusive growth or protecting the domestic industries or increasing the foreign investment into India. Examine or critically evaluate or critically analyze. Because they'll ask a broad question on free trade agreement, not on a single country. Especially when it comes to international relations, this free trade agreement question can be directly asked in economy. So, in this India-UK free trade agreement, there are some flaws. The flaws are regarding the agriculture. Regarding the agriculture, there is some flaw. The flaw is, see, when Sri Lanka free trade agreement was signed, the prices of spices and tea declined. Because Sri Lanka can easily transport spices or easily transport tea to India. But we also have the growers of spices. The farmers will grow tea here also. Automatically, competition perigi, prices down. That has hit, the free trade agreement has hit the Indian tea and spice exports. And there is a country called ASEAN. So this is 10 block nations. Association for Southeast Economic Nations. See, ASEAN countries. So when FTA was signed, it has hit the rubber industry. Where it was 280 per kg. 280 per kg was the cost of rubber at that point of time in 2012. Now it has reduced to 180 per kg. See, actually the prices should increase, but it has slashed because of free trade agreement. And there is this agreement called RCEP. Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Along with ASEAN nations, there are 6 more countries who have signed the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Now, when RCEP was signed, why did India did not sign the RCEP? Because there will be cheaper imports into India, which will hit the agriculture sector, especially the dairy farming. Because India is the largest producer of milk in the world. India has the largest population of cattle in the world. If I allow the Australian or New Zealand brands to come into India, automatically the milk cost reduces. It will be good for us, consumers ka baane untadi, but it will be damaging to the farmers. This is how there is negatives of free trade agreement that has been given in the India-UK also. Ila negatives వచ్చే ఛాన్స్ ఉందని ఆ ఆర్టికల్లో మెన్షన్ చేస్తారు. But not only negatives, there are positives also. Positives when it comes to the leather industry, the textile industry, the gems and jewelry, the engineering goods. All these things will benefit. See, tell me about these industries. Is this capital intensive or labor intensive? Labor intensive. They need more labor. That means it indirectly gives us the employment also. It is indirectly giving us employment also because they are labor intensive industries. If the UK government is slashing 95% of the tariffs on these entities, it will benefit our industries only. That's how free trade agreements can also be has the benefit but also has the negatives also. Now the question from this can be, the FTAs is ailing India discuss. The free trade agreements are ailing India. Discuss. The free trade agreements are ailing India. Discuss. Now in this question, you need to discuss the factors which are promoting the free trade agreements in India. Different factors that are supporting India. What are the positives of free trade agreement? If you have any example, you can quote. What are the negatives of free trade agreement? And in the conclusion, you need to write down whether they are beneficial. See, మీరు స్టాండ్ తీసుకోవాలి కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్కి, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్కి స్టాండ్ తీసుకోవాల్సిందే. అంతేకాని నేను మిడిల్లో ఉంటా అంతే కుదరదు. ఇట్స్ నాట్ లైక్ యాజ్ ఎ మధ్య మార్గ ఇన్ ది బుద్ధిజం, యూ కాంట్ స్టేయింగ్ లైక్ మధ్య మార్గ. You need to take stand on some questions at least for the economy questions. Not polity, because polity you can't take a stand. But here at least you need to take a stand. Whether it is beneficial or whether it should be improved, you should take a stand on these questions. So tomorrow, write this question, try to answer these questions. Now, see, this is what will be the impact of India-UK trade deal. Whatever things I have discussed is this from this article only. The negatives also I can quote this from this article. See, the self-defense clause in global law. What is a self-defense clause? Article 51. Deenu నుంచి వచ్చిన article. See, look at these people. These people, see, I have been into this UPSC field, I have been hearing about them continuously. So these people are Dongriya Khons. See, they belong to this Dongriya Khons. See, they belongs to this hills called Niyamgiri Hills in Odisha. Niyamgiri Hills, they are present, but they have been given as an example how a tribal should fight for their own land. How tribes should fight for their own land. There is this largest MNC called Vedanta, largest MNC అన్నమాట. మైనింగ్ ఎక్కువ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. దే గో ఫర్ మైనింగ్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అండ్ దే హావ్ ఫౌండ్ అవుట్ బాక్సైట్ రిజర్వ్స్ ఇన్ నియంగిరి. Bauxite reserves. When bauxite reserves were found, obviously the government will give all the permissions to go for mining in those areas, because government will get the revenue out of it. These people have gone to Supreme Court in 2014. Supreme Court has cancelled the mining lease of Vedanta. Supreme Court has cancelled. A single tribe who are having less than 1 lakh of population have closed the MNC Vedanta from India. Not even a single company is present from Vedanta in India now. See, a single tribe is doing this. Single tribe. So this example can be quoted in GS1. When you are writing about tribes, when you are writing about the tribal culture, when you are writing about unity and diversity in India, you can quote this thing. And in GS2, when judicial activism is getting written, judicial activism gurinchi rasetappudu, you can quote this case, 2014 Vedanta mining case, judicial activism. Then in GS3, when you are writing about the environment, how does the mining activities have an hit on the environment, you can quote this case. How mining activities, how environment is getting damaged because of mining activities, you can quote this case. Then GS4, how collectivism can promote their own goals, that can be written as an example. So this is how across the different papers you can quote a single example. Dongriya Khon tribes, Niyamgiri Hills, bauxite mining. And there is this strange thing called Podu. They have this strange agriculture activity called Podu. Podu is nothing but slash and burn agriculture. They'll slash the field, burn it, and they'll use it for agriculture activities. Then again they'll go for the other field. Slash and burn agriculture ki they are famous. Podu antam dani. Slash and burn agriculture. This is how Dongriya Khons are famous for. ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ ఇదే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ డిఫరెంట్ థింగ్స్లో కోట్ చేయొచ్చు. నో Now look, in the today's newspaper, see this one, why India must get the caste census right. Why India should get the caste census. See, do you think caste census is a new thing that is in India? Since 1881, we were having caste census. Since 1881, Britishers was the one who have introduced caste census to India. Since 1881. But after that, we have eliminated caste census from India because it should not discriminate among us. But do you think, see, this is a generally interview question that will be asked directly from you because many of my friends have gone for the interview and have got selected. They have told the same question has been asked by multiple boards. Do you think caste census is need of the hour for India? Yes or no? Yes? Yes, I think. Why do we need caste census? Why? Because see, when I am taking the population census, I'll go to each and every home and ask about your caste. Which caste you belong to, which subcaste you belong to. Should there be a caste census for India? Yes, why? For reservation. Okay. See, but when reservation was initially initiated, Ambedkar taught it for only 50 years. I think everyone of you know about it. When reservation was initially introduced, he thought it should be present in India only for 50 years. But still we are continuing them for the populist measures. As a government, I don't want my people to vote for me, so I'll give them reservation. Obviously, I'll be continuing the reservation process. See, the one thing is, see, now many of the schemes and welfare activities are linked to caste. Now. OBC, SC, ST, there are so many castes. And there is vertical and horizontal reservation in caste. Vertical and horizontal reservation. See, horizontal reservation is simple. OC, OBC, SC, ST. Sorry, vertical reservation. See, OC, OBC, SC, ST. Horizontal, each one is having a different reservation. Then horizontal reservation. Like I am staying with 4 people who are equal to me. But my status is different, my friend's status is different, the some other friend is different. All are belonging to ST community only. But each one is having a different economic status. But still, all are getting the reservation of scheduled tribes. That should not be the case, right? Reservation main aim is the disadvantaged people should get the reservation, not everyone. As we belong to ST community, all my friends, so I should not get reservation because I am well off, but still I am getting reservation because I am getting horizontal reservation. Everyone are equal in my category. So if I want to reduce the horizontal reservation, I need caste census. In the caste census, along with my caste, the economic status will also be known by the people. They'll be asking me, what is your caste? I basically belong to OC. In the OC, what is your subcaste? And what is your daily income? What is your monthly income? What is your yearly income? So now, caste is linked with the economic status. When you link the caste with the economic status, you can actually know whether this person is degraded or not. That will help them to promote the reservation policies properly, to design the reservation policies properly. That's how caste census will help. Caste census will help. See, not India-wide, there are already few states who are going for caste census, especially Bihar. Bihar is already going for caste census. This is not a new case. Individually, they are going for caste census. But census as a term belongs to union list. It doesn't belong to state list. They have just proposed, Bihar have proposed the caste census, but they can't go for caste census. Registrar General of India should give them, and the Census Commission of India should give them permission to go for census. That's how caste census is. See this one. This one is also a revolutionary case which you will know in few days. The right to know. The right to know case. In few days you will have this case called Wikipedia versus ANI. See ANI, no, there is a news channel. It's a social media news channel. ANI. See, there was this case going on between Wikipedia and ANI. What is Wikipedia? Obviously, you know about Wikipedia. Whenever you open Google, the first page displayed will be Wikipedia. If you want to know the information. How does Wikipedia gather the information? How does Wikipedia get its own information? Wikipedia gets its own information from trusted sources. There are so many trusted sources which will provide the information. And once cross-checking చేసిన తర్వాత information upload చేస్తారు Wikipedia. ఎలా పడితే అలా upload చేయరు. What is the case between Wikipedia and ANI? There was this article written on ANI in one news article that ANI is pro-government. The ANI news channel అనేది pro-government. It is publishing articles a government అకార్డింగ్గా పబ్లిష్ చేస్తుంది, అగెనిస్ట్గా పబ్లిష్ చేయట్లేదు అని ఒక ఆర్టికల్ రాసింది వికీపీడియాలో, పోస్ట్ అయింది ఆ ఆర్టికల్. ఏఎన్ఐ ఏం చేసిందంటే ఇట్ హ్యావ్ గాన్ ఫర్ ది డిఫమేషన్ కేస్. అంటే యు ఆర్ డిఫేమింగ్ మీ దట్ ఐఎమ్ ప్రో గవర్నమెంట్. అప్పుడు ఢిల్లీ హైకోర్టు హ్యాస్ ఆర్డర్డ్ వికీపీడియా టు రిమూవ్ ద ఆర్టికల్. ఆ పేజ్ని రిమూవ్ చేసేయమని చెప్పింది. బట్ వికీపీడియా ఏం చేసిందంటే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ దీని సబ్ వెబ్సైట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఈ సబ్ వెబ్సైట్స్లో ఢిల్లీ హైకోర్టుకి అగెనిస్ట్, ఆ జడ్జిమెంట్కి అగెనిస్ట్గా ఆర్టికల్ రాసింది. ఈ ఢిల్లీ హైకోర్టు ఇచ్చిన జడ్జిమెంట్కి అగెనిస్ట్గా ఆర్టికల్ రాసింది ఈ సబ్ వెబ్సైట్స్లో. ఆ ఢిల్లీ హైకోర్టు జడ్జి ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో he has taken it as a contempt of the court case. Like, how can you criticize the court's decision? అని కంటెంప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది కోర్ట్ కేసు వేస్తాడు ఆయన. నౌ కంటెంప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది కోర్ట్ కేసు వేసి ఈ ఆర్టికల్స్ కూడా రిమూవ్ చేయమని చెప్తాడు. నౌ దిస్ వికీపీడియా హాస్ గాన్ టు సుప్రీం కోర్ట్. సుప్రీం కోర్ట్కి వెళ్తుంది. సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ హ్యాస్ క్వాష్ ది ఢిల్లీ హైకోర్ట్ ఆర్డర్ అండ్ హ్యావ్ ఆస్ ది వికీపీడియా టు ఆ ఛానల్ని మళ్ళీ వెనక్కి తీసుకురాని చెప్పింది, saying that right to know and right to take the info like right to criticize is part of fundamental right. Like, it is not like you can't criticize the judgment of the judge. You can criticize. You have the right to know. You have right to criticize the judgment of the judge. ఇలా వికీపీడియా వర్సెస్ ది ఏఎన్ఐ కేస్ ఇంకా జరుగుతుంది సుప్రీం కోర్టులో. దట్ విల్ బి ద రెవల్యూషనరీ కేస్ రిగార్డింగ్ ది ఆర్టికల్ 19 clause 1 clause A of the constitution, which gives the freedom of speech and expression. Like, whether media channels have the freedom of speech and expression or not. Because whenever you know about this, there is this called the media freedom. There is this index which is given every year. How free is your media? So obviously India is in the last place. You don't give freedom to the media in India. Whenever I write an article, first PIB, the Press Information Bureau will check my article and will squash my article if it is against the government. Because PIB is a government body. Obviously, if I am writing something against the government, they claim that he is an anti-nationalist and this should be squashed. That's why, see, government is using all these things. The section 79 of IT Act 2000. Section 79 of IT Act 2000, it has given this provision called safe harbor provisions. Safe harbor. That means, see, Facebook or Instagram, it is just a medium. అంటే మీరు నేను మాట్లాడుకునే మీడియం అది. వాళ్ళేం ఆర్టికల్ పోస్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. నేను పోస్ట్ చేస్తున్న ఆర్టికల్ మీకు విజిబుల్ అయ్యేలాగా చేస్తారు. దే ఆర్ జస్ట్ అన్ ఇంటర్మీడియరీ బిట్వీన్ టూ పీపుల్. నేను పోస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఎవరో చూస్తున్నారు, నా ఫాలోవర్స్ అంతే. దే ఆర్ నాట్ క్రియేటింగ్ ఎనీ కంటెంట్, రైట్? ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ కానీ ఫేస్బుక్ కానీ వాళ్ళు ఏం క్రియేట్ చేయట్లా. నేను పోస్ట్ చేస్తున్న కంటెంట్ని వేరే వాళ్ళు చూసే ఒక యాక్సెస్ మీడియం ఇస్తున్నారు అంతే. దట్ మీన్స్ దే ఆర్ ఇంటర్మీడియరీ, దట్స్ ఇట్. సో ఇక్కడ సేఫ్ హార్బర్ ప్రొవిజన్ ఏం చెప్తుందంటే, ఇఫ్ ఐ am posting something against the government or something against the national interest, I should be the one who should be prosecuted, not the intermediary. not the Facebook, not the Instagram. The person who have posted it should be arrested. And a safe harbor, you are safe. The intermediary is safe. The person who have posted it will go to jail. Now, దీనికి అమెండ్మెంట్స్ తీసుకొచ్చింది గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా, ది ఐటీ రూల్స్ 2021. దీని ప్రకారం, even though you are an intermediary, if you know that that content is fake, if you know that that content is illegal, if you are still not taking it down, your safe harbor provisions will be scratched and you can also be prosecuted. అంటే ఫేస్బుక్ పైన, ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ పైన కూడా కేసు వేయించినాను. పోస్ట్ పెట్టినోడి పైన కాదు, ఎవరైతే ఆ పోస్ట్ పెట్టడానికి మీడియంగా యాక్ట్ అయ్యారో వాళ్ళపైన కూడా కేసు వేయించినాయి. This is how media freedom is curtailed in India. You know, there is this platform called X, Twitter. Twitter is a free speech medium. మీరు ఏది కావాలంటే అది మాట్లాడచ్చు, because it is in the private hands. Elon Musk is a private person. It is in the private hands. There is a freedom of speech and expression in it. Fake news, ఏదైనా propagate చేయొచ్చు. But when it is in the public hand, the public should listen to the people automatically. సో అందుకని ఎక్స్ వినట్లేదు. నువ్వు సేఫ్ హార్బర్ క్యాన్సిల్ చేసుకో, నేను ట్విట్టర్ తీసేస్తాను ఇక్కడ ఇండియా నుంచి. ఐ విల్ నాట్ బీ ఇన్ లాస్. యువర్ కంట్రీ సిటిజన్స్ విల్ బీ ఇన్ లాస్. దట్స్ వై ది గవర్నమెంట్ ఈస్ థింకింగ్ ఆన్ స్క్వాషింగ్ దీస్ అమెండ్మెంట్స్. ఉంచాలా తీసేయాలా అని ఆలోచిస్తుంది. సో ఇలా ఫ్రీడమ్ ఆఫ్ స్పీచ్ అండ్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ గురించి ఆర్టికల్స్ కానీ మీకు ఎగ్జామ్లో రాసేటప్పుడు, rather than quoting only polity things, quote this also. That section 79 of IT Act also mentions about the freedom of speech and expression, especially for the media houses. Because press freedom index lo India is faring very less. Press freedom index. This is how this article can be written. Freedom of speech and expression is a misnomer in India. Evaluate. Freedom of speech and expression is a misnomer in India. Evaluate. See, these are the two questions I want you guys to try to answer these questions. In tomorrow's class, I'll come again and discuss the model answers for these two questions, so that you will understand how to write an introduction, how to write a body, how to write a conclusion. See, because UPSC will not give you a chance to think in the examination hall. మీరు అనుకుంటున్నారు examination hall లో థింక్ చేసే ఛాన్స్ ఇస్తున్నాను మీకు? No. You need to have that structure already in your mind. For example, freedom of speech and expression గురించి వస్తే ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఇది రాస్తాను, కంక్లూజన్ ఇది రాస్తాను, బాడీ అనేది వాడు ఇచ్చిన క్వశ్చన్ బట్టి రాస్తాను అనేది ముందుగానే మీ మైండ్లో ఆ 20 క్వశ్చన్స్కి స్ట్రక్చర్ ఉండాలి. అప్పుడే నీకు 20 క్వశ్చన్ ఆన్సర్ చేయగలవు. లేకపోతే 12 13 ఆన్సర్ చేసి బయటకు వస్తావు, ర్యాంక్ కూడా రాదు. ఆ 20కి స్ట్రక్చర్ మీ మైండ్లో ఉండాలి. అందుకే నోట్ మేకింగ్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. అందుకే మినిమం నోట్స్ పెట్టుకోవాలి, దాన్ని ఎంత మ్యాక్సిమంగా యూజ్ చేసుకోవాలో తెలుసుకోవాలి. అప్పుడే మీరు ఆన్సర్ చేయగలరు క్వశ్చన్స్. అది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. దిస్ 10 days ఐ టీచ్ యూ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్. అప్పుడు మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది తక్కువ నోట్స్తో ఎలా ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఎక్కువ యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సో ఎవరైనా ఆన్సర్స్ రాస్తే షో ఇట్ యువర్ మెంటర్ టుమారో మీరు వచ్చినప్పుడు. దెన్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్ 5 to 5:30 టైమ్ ఐ విల్ కమ్ అండ్ గివ్ యూ ది మోడల్ ఆన్సర్స్. ఓకే, సీ యూ గైస్.